Hello everybody, welcome back to Air War Fleet Command. The Spirecraft Showdown continues, and as promised we have the entire map, the entire galaxy cataloged, if you will. And it's time to take a look around at some things. Now off screen there's been almost half an hour of activity. I've done some raiding. Knocked out a data center in Venus. Knocked out one in Karen as well, and I also got rid of one Spire civilian leader in Titania because I'm fully convinced now I don't ever plan on taking that system, so why put up with the additional AI progress from that? So that leaves us, by my count, as we have 3 captured and 1 eliminated. So that gives them 6 AI progress per hour and gives us -9, so we're 3 to the good on that. Now I did also knock out interplanetary munitions booster in here. Those are not capturable. And you can see actually my raid starships are still in here. They're just leaving. It was right under this force field. Lost the transport, took some damage to the starships per usual. Now that did cost me 5 AI progress, but I plan on taking Zelada and Lunrace eventually. If I don't get rid of that, that basically means any attacks on those 2 systems for the rest of the game, they're going to do double damage. To me, 5 AI progress was worth dealing with that. So as a result of all of that, our AI progress is at 51. It was at 76 at the end of the last update. And you see with our reduction, it would be down to 48. So we're 3 below the floor with our reduction. Now there are 2 more data centers. Neither are reachable right now. One is in Utapau and one is in Lunrace. And so we'll want to get those eventually, but we're sort of running out of those. Now as far as the super terminal goes, that's here in Rhea, and it's inconveniently located. I mean, it's a very attractive system with the experimental engineers and the Spire starships as well. But it's right next to a core world. Not sure what I'm going to do with that. I had a chance to look at some of the other things. For example, up here I believe is the one core shield A prime that I'm going to leave alone. There's an advanced research station there, but you have to destroy all but one of the A primes. There's nothing else in here. So that's the one I'm going to sort of skip. And then the showdown devices. Well, we already knew there was one in Cybele. There's also one in Sindai, one in M Shadowy, and one in Coruscant. And it's either going to be Coruscant or Sindai, probably Coruscant, which is the last one that I'm going to take in order to trigger that. So what do I want to do now? Well, I think I want to keep pounding on the civilian leaders. There's more that I'm going to want to just plain eliminate. For example, out here in Ceres, I don't plan on taking that, but I can't really conveniently reach this system at the moment to raid it. It's too far away. So I need to get a better location to strike at that from. I'm going to want more energy. That's very obvious to me. I've been debating back and forth in my mind, do I want to go for a Zenith power generator? Do I not want to go for a Zenith power generator? There's 2 that I've found. One is in Metis, and it's really badly located. It's right here on the Karen. So, I mean, I just think that's going to be really inconvenient. This isn't a great system to defend. I like this one better. The one and only T. And these are on top of Wormhole to M Shadowy. So, my plan at the moment is I want to take M Shadowy. Viol shredders in there are nice, and we've got to take it for the showdown anyway. And then grab this. It has the Radar Jammer Mark II, which will also help on top of that same wormhole. And then if you look across the system here to Bespin. So I can set up my defenses right on that wormhole, and then Bespin would be the only good way in for them. They could come through M Shadowy, of course, but that's sort of the going forward idea that I want to go with. Now, before I do that, though, my next idea is I want to take Hebe. There's another civilian leader in there. Another A prime, another advanced research station. We'll just take whatever that gives us. And the nice thing is, from Tethys, I can actually get there in 4 jumps. So I don't even have to deep strike, which I would have had to do previously. It would have been a 5 or 6 jump endeavor from our homeworld or anywhere else. So that's going to be a nice way to get at this. Give us a little bit more on the civilian leaders. And then as soon as I can get these 2 and get the energy, I want to start doing some big beachheads to deal with some various things. One is obviously to take this and be able to immediately jump in here and deal with that before this gets too powerful with the double reinforcements. I want to build a beachhead in here to get rid of that layer. Idea is if I build a really strong beachhead with as many advanced turrets as I can get my hands on. Now I want to get better, I'm going to unlock better mines, better force fields by the time we get there, and also I may, before we do that, we will see, I may want to start grabbing a few more of the core turret controllers. If I went and grabbed, for example, this one, if I got those two and just left that layer alone for the moment, I would be able to have the laser and the lightning. I want to get into Ganymede eventually and get the flak turrets there. That's a nice boost along our path this way towards Coruscant. You know, the flak, and I could hack in here for the Needler, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to take the flak turrets. And if I have the flak and the lightning underneath advanced hardened force fields, then I can have a really nice strong point at the defense of a systems like I've done before in the Core World hacks, or Core World Beachhead rather, that I did, and I believe it was Neptune in the last game. And having those two area effect types under the force fields really has proven effective. I want to continue that whole strategy. And then down here eventually we've got spider turrets and snipers over here, but I really want the spiders. Spiders take a lot more research to unlock because of how powerful they are. It's basically the sniper turret plus the engine damage. So I'm really going to want that one eventually. So there's lots of targets. I'm going to have a pretty big empire by the time this is over, bigger than I've probably had in any game except for the Spire ones. I'm going to depend on all those converted civilian leaders to keep AI progress to a reasonably low amount. I've even put up a couple more matter converters, have more energy now. Metal is maxed, so that's not an issue. I've got a armored warhead waiting for the next time that those hunters show up, although I would eventually like to be able to just, you know, have a fleet strong enough to potentially take them on and not have to use it. We'll see if I can get there and what that'll look like. And I'm starting to accumulate a good amount of knowledge to use, and we're going to be getting more and more. So a lot of things turning our way. But really, right now, I want to work towards knocking out more Spire civilian leaders and being able to do some of these beachheads and eliminate some of these problem areas and really reshape the galaxy towards the Showdown goal. Okay, we made it into Hebe here, but barely. It took a bit of doing. You see, the hunter group was back, which is fine. I was prepared for that. I was bringing my armored warhead down through all of this. And then I got into Uranus, having going through knocking out the Tachyon Sentinels, which is, of course, necessary to bring in the warhead, and also to get the transports through safely. So I was pounding my way through. And when we jumped here into Bespin, we're about to come back through, rather, with the warhead, the hunter group was waiting right around this wormhole. So, naturally, I just sent in the warhead and blew them up. I was going to try to fight that group with my fleet. It probably would not have gone well, but I wanted to see how well we would do with the additions we've made. Yeah. So, I mean, we got that extra 3 AI progress. We're up 1 now to 52. But I'm basically trading it because the idea is I'm going to flip this civilian leader before we hit the next hour mark. And even with that, barely able to get the transports through in here intact. But since we're not deep striking, we can take out this system in any order that we see fit. So this over here is just a cloaker guard post. It doesn't have a lot of range, all of that fun stuff. So I'm just going to try to hide out right up in here. We don't have to be in too much of a hurry on this. And I just want to get out of range of everything that's going to create a problem for us. Okay, now we've got, of course, some of them are chasing us down rather aggressively. Spider Guardian and Raid Starship. I'm going to load everything that is not in here, because that's my colony ship deal. Now, I don't remember if I brought along... Yeah, I've got the Tigers. I'll put them back in after a little while. And I did produce the rest of my scout starships just to have a little bit better anti-sniper coverage in these operations. And of course I'm going to let my Sentinel frigates do that thing that they do. Zenith starship coming in here being a problem. Raider Guardian. But we've got enough firepower. Okay, and they're going to send in some extra. These are just normal Special Forces issues now. But I think at this point, probably a good time to just go ahead and put away for the moment. Tigers can come out and play later. But again, since I have the time, I just want to let my Sentinel frigates kill everything they can kill. I don't even plan on using them much, at least yet, but I do have the Spire Maws along. I built everything that I could build. Of course, we're rebuilding another warhead right now to be ready for the next round of fun. And yeah, so they're spawning a decent amount of things here. And I think I want to sort of divide into a couple of groups. We'll take our long-range ship. So that's the Enclave ship and the Sentinel frigates. Let them continue to do what they do. We got a couple of things that we've captured here. Let's go ahead and put them away in a transport. There we go. And then I'm going to group everything else up. You can see we actually have grabbed a few of their ships with the Maws, even unintentionally. So that's pretty cool. But I'm going to grab all of these and just have them sort of gradually work their way around and knock out some of these guard posts that are opposing us. And the frigates, a lot of them slowed down by the spiders. That's unfortunate. Of course, cloaker guard posts, not too much of a threat. There we go. And we've got this is going to be, got the missile guard post over here. They've got an arachnid over here by the barracks. A couple command station shields. And let's see what else. MLRS, there's a second missile post out there somewhere. One, okay, yeah, they're up on that side of the system. So these are a little bit problematic in terms of going over there. And they kind of reinforce each other, and they got the arachnid over there, so that's a little bit iffy. But if I knock out the rest of this stuff, I may just wait for my Enclave ships. I may have enough time to wait for the Enclave ships to do that long range. We'll see. Now it occurred to me it was probably best to deal with the barracks first. 181 Mark III ships, so I just had my Sentinel frigates target it. And it's releasing, let's see, we've got cutlasses, fighters, bombers, a bunch of Spire mini-rams. They're going to counterattack with their Sentinel frigates. We've got our group up here of our standard ships, and I think I've still got the raid starships deactivated. Let's have them do something. But then our long-range fire group back here, the idea is to take as many of them as we can. See some of the cutlasses reaching us, but not very many. Take as many as they can out from across the system with our long-range fire here. And we're knocking out some of the mini-rams, but they're coming. They're most definitely coming. Over 12,000 health each. Some of those Sentinel frigates also going down. And it looks like these want to keep right on going into this group. And also we can see the Spire Maws gradually grabbing some ships. And we've got some here that we're capturing. Let's put them away. Because any ships like that that are unique that we can't reproduce and I can get them put away is nice. And now, we didn't lose hardly anything. I mean, we're going to chew up some of those ships. Here's an iBot. Put that away. So we're gradually accumulating that sort of extras fleet that I like to do. And we should be able to handle the rest of this system in a fairly routine manner. We've got 10 minutes to do it. I decided the best way to do it was I took some fire from everything else while I did it, but not that much. I took out the other command station shield post that was just about here, and then just sniped the command station from long range. We're building up in here. We'll knock these out. There's enough of them close together. I just feel it's going to be a little bit more painless if I simply, do it with my turrets and whatnot. And this is safe here, not by much, but you can see that, you know, the missile guard post can't quite reach this. So that just seemed to me, under the circumstances, to be the best. And okay, we have an ether jet. Now that's not too exciting, but it's something. So now, it's time to get ourselves built up in Hebe. And we've captured this wonderful guy, which gives us a little bit of reduction, but we're still 12 above the floor at the moment. And of course, the floor gradually increasing. Nothing we can do about that. Okay, now we're going to move on to M Shadowy here, which has a couple of surprises. This is our first Showdown system, and I assumed that we would be dealing with the strategic reserve being brought out against us, but it turns out they're not going to do that. I guess it's because it's a Mark II planet, but still, I figured, you know, Showdown device would be something that they would prioritize at the highest level in terms of defending. So I think with the situation that we've got, you know, reasonably good health, our assault transports took some damage coming in. I won't be able to use those, but we've got Mark II system. The guard post should not be that severe. So once our sentinel frigates knock everything out, I think we should just be able to walk around and with relative ease knock out. They've got a good mix, a laser, an MRS, a missile. They got a couple command station ones. But there's not a huge amount of defenses in this system. There's the viral shredder. There's where we'll be setting up. And again, it's a very, very nice spot, way away from any wormholes coming in. So this should not be really a difficult attack here at all. Then there's the other side of things as I start to move in on my first target, this laser guard post. And it's knocking out some of our stuff, some of our weaker starships going down. But we'll get rid of it. Well, hold on. Move in further. We'll get rid of it soon enough. We have the Dire Guardian that's going to spawn, and now we're going to get a reprisal. So we don't want to take forever in here either. I think I just want to march up through. Munitions boosting Guardian. Oh, that's fun. I think we'll go after that next. But I think I want to march up here to the missile guard post, and they've got command shield here, command shield here. I want to knock those out as quick as we can and take this system so that hopefully we can get around to providing some help to wherever that Dire Guardian goes. Well, it soon became clear that was not going to happen. So we got 4 minutes left until the Dire Guardian spawns, and meanwhile I'm sending what reinforcements I can in here to MJ-12 because this is where the main reprisal is hitting. Go ahead and help defend against that, and then move on to dealing with the Dire Guardian. Now it looks like they're going to run away. So most of what we have here is going to be fine, but let's go ahead and help take out those plasma sieges, just to be sure. There we are. Okay, and so now all of this should rectify itself. Now, to my surprise, I was able to finish things up a little bit quicker in M Shadowy. I've sent in my Youngling Tigers and, more importantly, my Sentinel Frigates, the one that survived, which is most of them, through a back route, able to sneak them up Eris, Callisto, Hame, and so on. And so we're going to be ready for this. But then we've also got, as our final thing for today, we've got data on the Showdown device now that we've captured it. And we're not done in here. All we've done is, like, we're in the process of building energy collector. But, you know, we've got a few ships in here to defend, and we'll soon get turrets up. We're going to have the ion cannons, a couple of them that we've captured to protect us. And we have our Showdown device, which is now, you know, it doesn't say that we've captured it. So let's see what's going on with this. Dorothy Langstrom. Who else would it be? We found a recording while investigating the strange Showdown device, as some overly dramatic sensor technician called it. If this is genuine, well, first the message. Identification K100-45, Marcus Artane, Dr. Major, retired, Kiersoon Imperial Navy, Itri finally saw the writing on the wall and accepted that we cannot help the Emperor. He's agreed to visit the locations I found on the Asterian obelisks. Garble garble, Nyleaf reached the first. The signal source was incredibly hard to miss once we knew what to look for. I've placed a sensor beacon so normal scans should pick it up. If I'm right, garbled, the control core is treating this galaxy as a rear area. Garbled, if reinforcements can be cut off. My husband once worked with the author of that recording. It was not an amicable relationship, and for more cause than simply the antagonism between Greenhaven and the Empire, but this is a lead worth following. If we capture other devices like this one, we may be able to find out more. Okay, so there's a bit of a story here involved with the Showdown devices themselves, how they came to be, etc. I assume the Emperor is referring to the Spire. Control Core is treating this galaxy as a rear area. So I'm not really sure what all this means, but obviously it's important. And that's going to wrap today. So it looks like we're going to have plenty of force in place to defend against this next attack. We've wiped out the Hunter group for now. They'll return. They'll always return. But the idea will be to knock out the Dire Guardian once it presents itself. Then grab the one and only T. Then once we've got that Zenith power generator in place, then we can start doing our beachhead stuff and really trying to march more aggressively through the rest of these other territories. Now, when the hour turned over, we got 5 positives, and we've now captured 4 out of the Spire civilian leaders. So at the moment, that 4 times 3 is 12, so we're at -7 per hour. On the other hand, we're going to need that because our AI progress keeps going up. At the moment, we're 26 above the floor and can't reach any more data centers yet. So there's sort of a tug going on with that, and I think we're going to probably get up to somewhere around 150 AI progress. It'll be interesting to see how severe the AI resistance gets at that point. But then, probably slow down what we're taking and grab those other data centers and should be able to knock it back down at least some. I'm hoping to keep it under 100 by the time we do the showdown. Don't know if I can do that, but that's going to be the goal. So we'll see how that works out next time. Till then, thanks for watching, everybody. More AI War will continue.